Wrestling, Ninja Turtles, two juggernauts of entertainment that have captivated audiences for decades. Now, what I didn't know for a long time was that the Turtles dipped their toes into the wrestling space at one point, and it was weird. I was actually quite surprised to find how many different versions of wrestling turtles there actually were. It seems every time I turned over a rock and looked up information on one of them, another set of turtles from a different wrestling organization would be mentioned, and down the rabbit hole I went. Today in this video, I've compiled all the information on these high-flying, elbow-dropping heroes in a half shell, and we're gonna go through it. It's actually pretty interesting to see how the Turtles, even in this small way, affected the wrestling world. Just a small example of how big Turtlemania was back in the day, and how those waves are still felt today. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want more videos on the heroes in green, go ahead and pedigree that subscribe button to catch more videos like this in your life. But as we always do, grab a slice of pizza and dive into the sewers, because we're going to take a look at all the different Ninja Turtles in wrestling. First up, we have what's probably the biggest out of the bunch in terms of people that remember it, the Toxic Turtles. This happened in the WWE, or the WWF as a lot of us remember it as. Two turtles appeared one night. I've seen it listed as having happened March 9th, 1993 on an episode of WWF Challenge at the Civic Center in Augusta, Georgia. It appeared one came out in an orange bandana and the other in what looked like a red bandana, but I feel like in some images it's almost a violet purple, so I don't know if they were going for a Raphael or a Donnie with this one. Underneath the suits were wrestlers Barry Hardy and Dwayne Gill, although the Turtles went by Tommy and Terry. It has been said that Gill was the orange one. The best way to explain the events that led up to this is best explained by Gill himself. In a WWE.com interview back in 2016, he says, "I used to do anything I could to wrestle. I mean anything. I didn't care. I had the outfits made because I was trying to find different ways to work more. Hardy and I had competed as the Executioners, and we also did Barry Hardy and Dwayne Gill so we could work a whole bunch. Then I said, let's both get these outfits made and maybe we'll get a job like that. We took them up to 3 TV tapings, but we never did anything with them. Finally, I put it on, came out and started dancing in the locker room, spinning around on the turtle shell and everything like that. When I stopped, I looked up and Vince McMahon is standing there. He asked, who the hell's in this thing? I took the mask off and he goes, I should have known. He then said, you got another one? I said, yes, sir. And he goes, put them on. In 10 minutes, you're wrestling. Now, he refers to themselves as the Battling Turtles in this interview, and the WWE website on other pages do as well, but the announcer during the match clearly introduces them as the Toxic Turtles, and it's what most people remember them by. One of the biggest highlights of the match is when Barry was on his back and he's lying in the ring, kicking his feet and his hands like he can't get up because he's on his shell. Now, although Gill said the match went well, it was the only time they ever got to do it in the WWF, most likely due to likeness rights issues to the Ninja Turtles characters, but hey, at least they won the match.
Possess the right thinking. You are about to face your most difficult battle in the fight against evil.
Okay, so bear with me on this one. When I was looking up the next turtle, a couple different names would pop up as to who the character was played by. So I did a little bit of digging and I'm pretty sure I've sorted out what's what, at least for the most part. I believe the first was Kowabunga, that's Cowabunga with a K by the way, the Turtle, and it was played by wrestler Chris Champion. This turtle popped up on the scene in summer of 1990, not in the WWF though, or WWE as it's now known. Rather, this turtle showed up in the USWA, the United States Wrestling Association. I've seen him referred to as the long-lost brother of the rest of the turtles. The bandana and knee and elbow pads were black. This turtle actually stuck around for a few months. He had matches, did interviews, cut promos.
Get a word or two from him as he heads to the ring.
Sick, dude.
But eventually, the ride came to an end and Cowabunga was gone. Now, years later, at least from what I can tell, with some matches dating in 1993, another wrestling Ninja Turtle named Kowabunga the Turtle emerged, this time over at SMW, or Smoky Mountain Wrestling. This time, the turtle in the suit was Brian Hildebrand, aka WCW referee Mark Curtis. This turtle also sported a black bandana and black pads. Although very different from the previous Cowabunga, it appears his shell and front part of the shell were black as well, and the head didn't seem to be constructed as good either as the previous Cowabunga. Big highlight for this Cowabunga was his match with Jim Cornette. His entrance song was actually Partner in Crime's Turtle Power from the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. Cornette once said that at an event they were wrestling at, it got so hot during the match, Cowabunga had to remove his head during the match, revealing to the audience that Cowabunga was Brian Hildebrand. Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit international with the remaining versions of the Wrestling Ninja Turtles. Lucha Libre has also had their own versions of the Turtles as well. The information on these is so scarce and scattered and mixed together that it's a little difficult to put together, but let's try our best. And let's go through them real quick, as there's more than one group. First up, we have Las Tortugas Ninja, and they look like this. From what I can tell, the group was created in 2014. They wrestle for the International Wrestling Revolution group. The bandanas are all the colors of the regular Ninja Turtles, but the green tiger stripe design on the suits is definitely something that stands out amongst these turtles. Originally, the group consisted of Leo, Mike, Raphael, and Tilo. Word has it that in 2018, Tilo, the Donnie character, left the group and formed a rival faction of turtles called Las Tortugas Negras, or translated, the Black Turtles. This new group defeated Leo, Mikey, and Raphael in their debut match in 2018. Now apparently, this was not the earliest example of turtles in Lucha. Examples as early as 1990 talk about a group called Los Tortugas Ninja, as opposed to the more current days group named Las Tortugas Ninja. This older group was in the Empresa Mexicana de Lucha Libre Wrestling Organization, and I'm not quite certain, but I'm almost positive that these are images of that early group. Now, there's also other wrestling turtles from this early 90s era that pops up online. Los Tortuguillos Karatecas. I see matches for them reported as early as 1991, and old images of them as well, with their unmistakable giant smiling teeth. From what I can tell on Lucha Wiki, they started off in the Universal Wrestling Association, a Mexican Lucha Libre promotion, and then ended up in the AAA Lucha Libre Worldwide. It says in their Lucha Wiki page that they also had a chance to tour in Japan for Hamada's UWF. Finally, it says on here that the members were never given names, just numbers. Tortuguillo Karateka 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now more recently in 2015, the previous group of turtles we talked about, Las Tortugas Ninja, the ones with the green tiger stripe prints on their suits, faced a group of turtles called Los Tortuguillos Karatecas, the same name as the ones we're currently talking about. And they have the same big teeth smile as those older Tortuguillos Karatecas once had. The resemblance is striking, although I'm not sure if it's the same group as those earlier 90s ones, because as far as I can tell, these ones did have names and went by Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Miguel Angel. Plus, it's so many years later, but who knows? Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the trip down the Turtles and Wrestling rabbit hole. There's so much overlap and confusion between all these different groups that it's very difficult, even now, for me to wrap my mind around all of these groups. And I'm still not 100% sure how accurate some of the information is on those international ones. But if I had to simplify it, just given the knowledge that I know right now, I would say there was the WWE Toxic Turtles, Cowabunga the Turtle #1 from USWA, Cowabunga the Turtle #2 from Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Los Tortugas Ninja from the early 90s, Las Tortugas Ninja from 2014, and of course their rival group Las Tortugas Negras, And finally, Los Tortuguillos Karatecas from the early 90s that may or may not have come back to fight the 2014 Las Tortugas Ninja, which if they didn't come back, then there's a second newer version of Los Tortuguillos Karatecas. Make sense? That's how I'm seeing it. But alright everyone, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want more videos on the Green Machine in your life. We talk updates, retrospectives, cool random TMNT stuff like today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you in a little bit with another video. Take care.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.